Welcome back to the Rachel Jasmine Studio podcast. Today we are featuring a client spotlight and reading what Miss J had to say about her boudoir experience with us. I'm Rachel.
I'm Stefanie.
I'm the photographer.
And I'm the office manager.
And we are Rachel Jasmine Studio. So let's get into what Miss J had to say for her client spotlight.
Let's do it. All right. So how did you hear about Rachel Jasmine Studio and what made you want to book with us?
Miss J answers that question with, I went to high school with Rachel and her brothers. I've also been a fan of her work for years. I saw how she highlighted everyday moms and captured all of their sexiness through art. I wanted to see what she could do with me. That's awesome. We did go to high school together. Yeah. She's younger than me though. I'm an old lady now. Yeah, no, I really appreciate when people recognize that we are working with everyday women, because that's like, it's so important to me to have a range of different body types, ethnicities, ages, because there is no like one size fits all when it comes to like sexy and what that means and how it's defined. And so putting that out front in my marketing was so important, and still to this day is so important, because we are all so different and so unique. And I really want to highlight that. And Miss J had this incredible hair.
Yeah.
Like you'll see it in the photos, just this stunning blue hair, and like really highlighted her personality. And so, yeah, like I love when people recognize that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too. And what was your initial reasoning for booking?
So Miss J says, I won a shoot. I saw that there was a form to apply and I won out of nowhere one day. It was awesome. I applied because it was something I've never done before, and I figured it was worth a long shot. So we do 2 giveaways a year. One at New Year's time and then one in the summer. So typically we only have 10 spots available for that. This past summer, we actually opened it up to 15 because we have a lot of past clients that want to come back for it. And it's so hard saying no to them, because it's like, you know, when we've already worked with somebody and we like love them, we're like, yeah, we want to work with you again.
Come back.
Obviously. Yeah. So we did increase it a little bit, but we only have like so much space on our calendar for these types of giveaways and promotions and stuff, because the discounts and like the things that they get are so generous that like, you know, we wish we could give it to everybody, but I just can't physically photograph like, you know, everybody every single year. Like there's only one of me. So we do have to keep those spots limited. And so Miss J was one of those people that we selected for that, which is awesome.
And too bad we can't clone you.
I know.
Did you have any expectations going into the shoot, and what were they?
So Miss J responds to that and says, I researched what I could online, but reading reviews is still sketchy. I was so nervous walking in blind, essentially, and literally. I took my glasses off. Okay, LOL. She says, I could have called the studio and asked for more information, but honestly, life got busy. So I figured, what the heck, and just walked in.
And that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Absolutely. Yep. Rip the Band-Aid off, girl. Just walk in.
Yes.
Because we do this so often. So it's like, I think we really make the process easy for people, because we're just like, listen, we know you don't really know what to expect. We try and like put out, so like all these client spotlights are on our website. I think we have like probably over 100 by now, where you can go and read exactly what we're reading. And, you know, so you can kind of get an idea, but you don't really know until you're there and you're doing it.
Yeah,
so,
you have to experience it
exactly.
for yourself.
So rip the Band-Aid off and just walk in the door, because we're going to take good care of you.
Yeah. And it'll be the best decision you've ever made.
Exactly.
What was it like seeing your images for the first time?
All right. So Miss J answers this question and she says, I cried, which made Stefanie cry. And she says, but I reminded us that we are baddies and we pulled it together. LOL. I was completely floored. That wasn't me I was looking at. Couldn't be. But wow, it was. And I felt so empowered. Oh my God.
I remember that reveal we did. We sat there. She started crying and I looked at her. I'm like, you can't cry. I'm going to cry.
Oh my God. Is that something that happens?
I wouldn't say a lot, but more than I would have thought.
That you cry?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I mean, when they're on there and they're so emotional about like, you know, a lot of people go through things in their life and they share that with us. And
yes.
I remember, and then we get in and see their pictures and just the emotion hits them. So then it hits me.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. I'm a crybaby too. So when I used to do the reveals, clients could make me cry too.
Yeah.
And it's very emotional. Yeah. Like, because again, it's like we build up these expectations of ourselves, and a lot of that is built with so much self-doubt and limited beliefs and a lot of like negative self-talk. Even though it's like they've gotten to this point where they're like, okay, I've done this. Like I'm in the home stretch. Like now I'm about to review these images and like see the culmination of everything that I've been working for the last how many months leading up to this point. And so, yeah, it for sure is emotional. But I just think it's so sweet that like you cry with them. Oh my God.
It's a very humbling experience.
For sure.
And we work so hard to like help these women and like give them back something that they may have lost or never had. And like, it's
for sure.
really nice to see.
Yeah. And we as staff members get very invested in the clients, especially the ones that kind of know that this is a safe place and can really confide in us, and they're willing to kind of share what their story is throughout like early on in the process. And that's why when we do these giveaways, the coolest thing about that is that it is a very different vibe, because for traditional clients, typically what that looks like is they'll find us on social media or Google or whatever, and they'll go to our website, they'll get the booking guide, they'll schedule a call, and they may or may not kind of give some background information on them on that call. I would say most people don't.
Right, yeah.
And so then they get through to the booking process, they pick their date, they go through all of that. And so a couple weeks prior to the session, we do send a form to clients. It's called Help Us Get to Know You. And so that's another opportunity to like, maybe share some personal details. But even then, sometimes people are a little more reserved. And so we're not always like getting to know our clients on like a really deep, intimate level until they arrive at the studio. And then it's like, kind of the walls come down. But with the giveaway, because we're asking intimate questions, because we read every single application, a lot of people are, they're giving those like intimate details of their lives. And so we get to know them on this like deep level before ever even meeting them.
Yeah.
So it's a cool experience for us. And I got to be honest, like, and you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say like after a session of reading through some of these applications, like you kind of walk away hating men.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Like just being like, what is wrong with these dudes? Like the infidelity, like the, we could go on and on. But, right.
We could have another podcast about that.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So reading the giveaway applications is a very humbling experience, and we really appreciate that women feel so comfortable to
be vulnerable. And it's amazing.
For sure.
All right. So has anything changed for you since your boudoir experience and seeing your gallery? How has boudoir impacted your body image as a woman?
So Miss J answers that question with, I can see why she has repeat customers. Oh my gosh, we do. We love our clients so much, and we love when they come back. We have a handful of clients that we photograph every single year.
Yeah.
This is like their treat to themselves. And then I have clients that also are like coming back maybe every few years. And that's really cool too, because like it's going from like starting 10 years ago to getting to see these women really evolve, and we're all changing and growing and getting to catch up with them. Like, how has life been?
Yeah.
And it's such a cool experience to have that really kind of grow up together in a sense, you know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So then Miss J goes on to say, not only was the entire experience fun and exciting, seeing those images and knowing everything that I've gone through, I have currently 5 autoimmune diseases, was in the hospital with sepsis, had taken a nasty fall down the stairs, and the list goes on. I was so afraid of laying down practically naked in front of strangers. It felt more vulnerable than having 2 babies. But looking at those photos, I get to remember how beautiful she made me that day. And I get to remember how she made me feel. And I will never forget that. We really, with this client in particular, like we really dug deep that day. And to learn about what she is going through and how she is surviving was so inspirational for us to hear.
Yep.
And what's amazing to me the most is not only is she surviving 5 autoimmune diseases, the hospitalizations, just all the things she's going through. But she has the warmest smile.
She does.
You know?
You would never tell. If she never said anything about what she's going through, you would never know. She never is like the kindest human.
Right. Because, you know, sometimes these types of things can really break people, you know? And they become this like distorted version of themselves because they're going through so much pain, and that is understandable. But I really admire the people that are, you know, they're going through these struggles in life, but they're still so wonderful, and they still wake up and smile, and they still have so many things to feel grateful for. And yeah, and that was like the epitome of who this girl is. And it was really cool to get to experience that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Would you recommend Rachel Jasmine Studio for the luxury boudoir experience to others?
So Miss J says, hands down, absolutely, a bajillion% yes.
I love that response.
Same.
And what advice would you give to another woman considering the boudoir experience with Rachel Jasmine Studio?
Miss J answers that question by saying, ladies, don't do it for your spouses.
Amen.
Do it for you.
Amen.
Amen. She says, do it for the sexy lady that you know is still in there after having a couple kids and breastfeeding them. Do it for the goddess that's still in you. Then show it off. Don't be afraid to show your friends because you are that beautiful.
Oh, gosh, I love that.
I know. Absolutely. And you know what? It's funny. I have seen a change in the trends for like 10 years ago. We heard all of the time, I don't have anybody to do this for. And women felt kind of weird doing it for themselves. Like I would get messages from people being like, I'm divorced. Can I do this just because? Or I'm single. I don't have anybody to give this to. And I would be like, do it for you,
right.
You know? And so now the narrative has shifted so much a decade later where most of our clients are like, I'm doing this for me first. And then my spouse gets to enjoy it as a Christmas gift, or like this, you know, like his birthday is how I justified the expense, but it's for me. Right. Yeah. So I love that.
Yes, I love it too. And that's so funny because the second time I came to you was when I was going through my stuff and separated, and I was like, Rachel, I need to pick me up. Let's do a shoot.
Hell yeah, we call it divorce therapy.
Yes. Is there anything else that you would like to add to your interview?
So Miss J answers that question with, Kristen was the most fun, fast, and fantastic hair and makeup artist ever. She is. It's just so wonderful. Yeah, we love her. And then she says, Stefanie and Rachel were together in my shoot because Miss J had signed a release for us. And so when you sign a release, Stefanie is with us. She's doing behind the scenes photos and videos, which is awesome. And then Miss J says, thank you for letting me vent, hearing my story, and for inviting me into what became a wonderful Girls' Day experience. As a client walking in alone with my conditions, you all made me feel like I belonged for once. I can never thank you enough for that.
That makes me want to cry.
I know. That makes me want to cry too. Yeah, because it's so meaningful to us when we get to truly make a genuine connection with our clients. And so, you know, it's so affirming and just feels amazing when they when that's reciprocated.
Yes.
So, yeah. So Miss J, girl, we love you.
We love you.
We love you. Come back and see us.
Please.